Missed an episode of your favorite podcast? Choose from over a decade of content in our archives, not just the latest episode. All free at gcnlive.com.
This is your call to action. Get prepared, America. Economy, survival, energy, disasters. This is USAPrepares.com. Informative radio, educational radio. Interact now by emailing instructor@USAPrepares.com or text at 434-390-7953. Class, please take your seats. Now, your instructor, Vincent Finelli.
Watch the greenbacks tumble.
Smells like bliss in here. Need I ask, Dr. Shealy, are you blissed?
I am very blissed. I've been writing about it this morning.
Well, Dr. Shealy, tell us about it.
Well, interestingly, I received an email. I get an email, one or two every day, from somebody with the results they're getting using one of the bliss oils. This was an interesting one, the one with recent post-herpetic, post-shingles pain. Very severe, non-remitting. Mm-hmm. And one of our TA certified practitioners put on earth and water bliss with total relief of her post-herpetic pain.
Wow.
That's remarkable. It's one of the hardest pains to control.
There's got to be, in my opinion, there's got to be a correlation between positive outlook, being happy, and being free from disease and pain.
Oh, yes. That's been known, Vince, probably forever, but it actually, I found publications on it in the 70s that people who had back surgery, who were depressed before the surgery, had a much, much higher failure rate with surgery. And that goes into everything. If you are not happy, nothing in life works well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was thinking about our son who was at the university, and part of one of his classes was surviving an interview. And our family just, I think it's genetic, we just don't take direction very well. But so anyway, he was he was in this class, and he was asked, under extreme pressure. I mean, everybody's watching, everybody in the whole class is watching, and he has this very interesting outlook on life. He's happy, and so the instructor said, why should I hire you for this job? And he said, well, I'm not so sure you should. As a matter of fact, I'm here to interview you, see if I want this job.
Oh, God love him.
He said something like, I understand what the job is about, but what I really want to do is make sure that you and I are going to get along, because if we don't get along, it'd be horrible for both of us. So,
oh my, which one was that?
Well, so when it came time to analyze and review and dissect what happened, the entire class thought that was the most risky, outrageous, but best performance of all who were interviewed, and they thought they'd hire him just because he was so forthright and willing, because he was I think because he was secure, and I don't know what it would be in his person and who he is, that he was willing to say something like that.
And Vince, I'm glad you brought it up, and why. And look, I've only known you for a few years, but I've met your mother, I've met your wife, I've met your sons, etc. And I can tell you, as an observation, the reason that this our child was able to do that was he was wanted from the moment he was born.
Absolutely.
And that is the problem. If a child feels unwanted, and many of them are. Remember, a minimum of 40% of all children today are born out of wedlock. They failed before they got here. And it's because their parents failed.
Yeah, it's very sad, and I don't know what to say about it, but I think that's why I think that there's a lot to be said for arranged marriages, believe it or not, because if parents are paying attention and the parents talk to the other parents, maybe they know a little bit more than some of the children do. And one thing that I don't believe we teach in school is marriage, what life within marriage is like, the commitments, the some of the sacrifices, the doing for others rather than for yourself, those kinds of things, and what it's like raising children. I don't think we teach that in school. If we do, I certainly missed it.
Absolutely not. In fact, that Charlie and I wrote a book way back in the late 70s called To Parent or Not, based upon this whole business. Because, when we were engaged, we spent 5 full months discussing our mutual values. We wanted to know one another and know, well enough. And when we got married, even though we knew that we were compatible, we had a conscious decision we would not start having children until 1 year after our marriage, so that we could, just be sure that things were perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And
go ahead.
Well, that's the way people should plan children. As a farmer, you plan breeding your livestock.
Absolutely.
And people should plan having children even more so.
Yeah. Before I married Mrs. Finelli, we dated for 7 years, and I knew her from 4th grade. We went to elementary school together, and we dated for 7 years. And she wanted to get married, and I said, okay, first we have to have $10,000 each in savings. She said, okay, I agree with that. And a car, and we each have to own our own car outright. I agree with that. And I kept adding on. And I said, and we have to finish our masters. And she said, okay. And we have to be secure in our jobs. And that's when I thought that having a job was something that you had to do. And she said, okay. And literally, we accomplished all those things. And then we were able, because we were not behind the 8 ball financially, we were able to buy a nice house. And we were able, it was still a fixer-upper, but it was a nice fixer-upper. And so we had no debt. And that was something that I realized how important it was to not have debt very, very early on.
Absolutely agree with you. Well, I wasn't quite as far along as you, but we both had finished our primary training.
Mm-hmm.
Shardy had finished nursing school. I was in the midst of my neurosurgical residency. So we both had an income, and we weren't in debt. And I don't understand this business of going into huge debt to get through college today.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And when we were engaged, it wasn't really a formal engagement, and the wedding wasn't a very large wedding either. But I asked Mrs. Finelli, I said, would you rather have an engagement ring, like a diamond ring, like everyone else has, or almost everyone else has, or would you rather have another room on the house, meaning a slightly larger house? And she looked at me like that's a silly question. Of course, I'd rather have the room on the house. And ours was, should we buy antique furniture? We lived in Boston at the time, and there were all kinds of wonderful old antiques that were
And so we invested in we're not talking about big expensive antiques, by the way, but we invested in furniture for our home instead of an engagement ring. My favorite probably was a curly maple 7-foot-long sideboard that came from the Miles Standish home in Marblehead. We paid all of $75 for it, and the antique dealer who put us onto it charged us $50 for it. And it was valued many years later when I gave it away because we didn't have space for it anymore at $3,400.
Well, that's what we did, and Dr. Shealy, you've been to our farm, and it's full of antiques, and we have done the same thing. So we've invested in really low cost antiques. I mean, we have oil paintings from the 1800s. I mean, very large portraits. We have, but nothing's new in our house. I mean, literally, nothing's new, including our vehicles. I mean, I guess the only thing that I buy that's new would be fuel, oil filters, and oil. Other than that, it's probably
and lots, if I remember correctly, of gas.
Yeah. We have a diesel. We have a lot of diesel, propane, diesel. Yeah. That's. And by the way, Dr. Shealy, just so our class knows, what I do is I will find, if I can, a used fuel tank, a clean used fuel tank. I'll buy that, and then I'll set it up in a location that is safe from the house, and then I will time the purchase of diesel fuel. So that, I look at the charts and I look at, okay, nobody's buying home heating oil, which is the same as diesel, except for the color and the tax. Other than that, it's identical. I'll wait till it's at the lowest price of the year, and then I'll buy it in bulk. So I will have, diesel fuel for the tractors at the lowest price. I'll buy it in bulk, and I'll have a container to put it in. So I'm not at the mercy of, fuel shortages and price increases and things like that. And if I do it right, I can buy fuel inexpensively. And I do the same thing with propane. I believe the last time I bought propane many, many years ago was $1.19 a gallon. So, I wrote out that propane panic of over a year ago when propane was selling for $4.49 per gallon if you could get it. So, and I paid $1.19. So that's what you can do. When we get back, I've got so many questions for Dr. Shealy about preventing birth defects, fibromyalgia, insomnia, bad memories, probiotics, cancers, and behavior problems with children. By now, you know that USAPrepares.com is your source for water filtration systems. Here at the farm, we use our water filtration system for drinking, cooking, and for our cats and dogs. Which brand are we using? Well, that would be the ProPure system, because it filters out pathogens, microbes, chlorine, and fluoride. Multiple sources indicate that fluoride is responsible for lowering our IQs by 5%. Now, how many of you would like to sign up for a lower IQ? USAPrepares.com offers ProPure water filtration systems and accessories at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate. We buy them by the pallet loads and pass the savings on to you. And if you're outside of Missouri, there's no sales tax. And if this appeals to you, visit USAPrepares.com. That's USAPrepares.com. You can order online, and we have the ProPure water filtration systems in stock, ready to ship. USAPrepares.com. ProPure water filtration systems at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate.
On the average, Americans work between 45 to 50 years, hoping to build wealth to retire and live out their golden years. Unfortunately, with taxation, the rising cost of food, energy, housing, and medical, many retirees are forced to live below the poverty line. Is this a flaw of free enterprise, or is our monetary unit we call the Federal Reserve Note forcing us into perpetual debt, ensuring inflation and higher taxes? These questions and more can be answered by reading G. Edward Griffin's book, The Creature from Jekyll Island. Congressman Ron Paul states it's what every American needs to know about central bank power. A gripping adventure into the secret world of international banking cartel. Hi, this is Ted Anderson. I will give a silver dollar from the early 1900s to anyone who purchases this book. Call 1-800-686-2237 and order a copy today. It's critical that the public be made aware of the system. Call and order your copy today at 1-800-686-2237. That's 1-800-686-2237.
We live in a complicated society. Stressful issues are always popping up. Have you ever been treated unfairly by someone? Have you ever been overcharged for a repair? Have you ever signed a contract or a document? Worried about identity theft? How many times have you been in those unique situations where you just wanted to call an attorney to find out if you're right or wrong, or what your legal rights are? But every time you think about calling an attorney, what do you think about first? That's right. Who do you call, and how much will it cost? Our friends at Legal Shield have found a solution. With a nationwide network of 6,900 attorneys who average 19 years of experience, Legal Shield's law firms take over 40,000 calls per week helping their members. For less than $20 per month, you can have access to Legal Shield on everything from the trivial to the traumatic. Let Legal Shield stand up for your rights at lsprotection.com. That's lsprotection.com. Or call 855-340-SAVE, 855-340-7283.
Results will vary from case to case.
Attention taxpayers! If you've received a notice from the IRS or state, do not ignore it. It's also a big mistake to try and handle your tax problem on your own. If you owe back taxes, it's a fact that the government has the power to take everything you own, including your home, business, wages, savings, and your freedom. But here's the good news. There's a special toll-free tax hotline set up especially for you. This tax hotline will tell you about new programs that are geared to help you dramatically settle, reduce, or eliminate what you owe. But you have to call now. Take down this number or put it in your cell phone. But call 877-345-7645. That's 877-345-7645. When you call, you get free information on how you can reduce or eliminate back taxes, including penalties and interest. You can also be helped if you have unfiled returns, a tax lien, wage garnishment, bank levy, or if you have been entered into a payment plan but can't make the payments. Don't make the big mistake in thinking you can ignore or handle your tax problem on your own. You can stop the collection process immediately at 1-877-345-7645. That's 1-877-345-7645. 1-877-345-7645.
Class, Dr. Norman Shealy is with us, medical doctor, and if you are interested in signing up for his newsletter, normshealy.com, NORMSHEALY.com. Go to the website and you can sign up for his free newsletter, the same one that I get, easy to read, quick read, multiple times per week, and it will jog your memory as to things you need to do. And you can also do research. He's got an optimal health section on his website, and it's free. It's absolutely free. It's not a membership thing. He's delighted to do it. Dr. Shealy, I want to thank you. I personally want to thank you. I've been getting a number of calls. People are looking at Genesis Communications Network, and they have on page one the top 5 streams, the top 5 audio streams for broadcast. And you and I and the faculty of USA Prepares is in the top 5 on Genesis Communications Network, almost 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Anytime that you go to GCN Live, you'll see the top 5 streams. And even when we're not on the air, even when we're not broadcasting, we're still within the top 5. So the reason I'm telling you this is your name comes up very often. I mean, when someone calls me to talk about the broadcast and what we said on the broadcast, or they listen to us, or they're a member of our class, or whatever the reason they call, those who are in our broadcast classroom, your name almost always comes up, and they love hearing you. And you are one of the main reasons that we are in the top 5, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So I personally want to thank you.
Well, Vince, the interesting thing is this first segment that we talked today, I would call it common sense living. That's what it is. Or we could say it's the Boy Scouts Be Prepared motto. I mean, we both have just exemplified that from early in our lives, we were prepared. We were thinking about where we're going and why we're going and how we're going to get there, and staying ahead of the game. And that's true. That is really critical. If you don't prepare, if you don't think, if you don't figure things out in advance, you're always behind the 8 ball.
Now, I wonder if there's a correlation, Dr. Shealy, as you were saying this, I was thinking, I wonder if there's a correlation between those who smoke we'll talk about, smoke cigarettes, that kind of thing. Inhale, apply the, uniformly distribute the tar and nicotine, across the surface of the lungs. Is there a correlation between that and living a preparedness lifestyle? I wonder if there is. Because if a person smokes, if a person smokes, then that person's got to know that down the end, at the end of this line, things aren't going to work out all that well, right? So, can they be a preparedness-minded person?
Well, they are low in self-esteem in general. People who take up smoking are low in self-esteem to start with. And, that's one of the reasons that they get addicted to this, unfortunately, extremely unhealthy habit.
That's fascinating. I have a feeling that there's a lot of accuracy in what you've just said, because I'm going through my memory of people whom I know have smoked. And, I know a man who was a newspaper editor and a heavy smoker. After work, he'd go and have a few drinks at the bar, and he lived alone.
Well, guess what? I just looked it up on the internet, which I'm prone to do when a question comes up. And even the World Health Organization, which is not, in my opinion, the world's best thing, but according to the World Health Organization, self-esteem, self-image, and tobacco use are directly linked. Adolescents who smoke tend to have low self-esteem and low expectations for further or future achievement. They see smoking as a way to cope with feelings of stress, anxiety, and depression. It stems from a lack of self-confidence. Okay, there you are.
Okay, now let's see if we can fix it. What do we do? So, Dr. Shealy, we've got someone who who I know. I mean, we all, everyone in class knows someone who might fit that description. What do we do to help that person?
Well, they need lots of nurturing, and obviously they would benefit from using Air Bliss on all 13 points twice a day.
Okay. Well, I know someone who I'm going to help, and I'm going to make that happen. Dr. Shealy, and I'll be right back. How many of you want to learn how to dig up bugs, worms, and raise crickets for food? Do you prefer to eat them dried and crunchy or while still alive? Well, you won't have to if you can defend your food supply from predators. You may want to get an AR-15 kit from guns80.com and build your own AR-15 rifle from a kit. If you can legally own a rifle, you can purchase this AR-15 kit. If you're handy, you can complete the rifle in about an hour. The kit comes with all the parts you're going to need to build your rifle, but you'll need a drill press. And survivalists need one anyway. The Guns80.com team purchased the same used floor-standing drill press that I have for $100. You can too. And when you're finished, you'll have a paperwork-free AR-15 rifle, a drill press, drill bits, and the knowledge to maintain your AR-15 rifle, all for less than you expect. So if you want a paperwork-free AR-15 parts kit like mine, visit Guns80.com, Guns80.com, and let the unprepared have our share of the bugs.
We all know that Berkey water purification systems are the most trusted name in water filtration. As an authorized Berkey dealer for over 6 years and serving thousands of satisfied customers, the Berkey Guy offers amazing specials for Berkey water filtration systems. The Berkey Light systems include a set of self-sterilizing and recleanable black purification elements that purify water by removing chlorine, pathogenic bacteria, cysts, and parasites to non-detectable levels and remove harmful chemicals such as herbicides and pesticides. Order the Berkey Light system today, complete with 2 black Berkey elements for only $231, and the Berkey Guy will ship your order free of charge. With the purchase of a Berkey Light, the Berkey Guy is also offering a set of fluoride and arsenic filters for only $39.99. That's over 30% off the retail price. Call the Berkey Guy at 1-877-886-3653. That's 1-877-886-3653. Or order online at GoBerkey.com. That's GoBerkey.com today.
By now, you may have heard a bit about Bitcoins, but did you know Bitcoins are now over an $8.5 billion market? And did you know that over 65,000 businesses now accept Bitcoins? Listen, if you're already earning Bitcoins or trying to make money in the Bitcoin market, you've got to know bidbit.co. Why? Because bidbit.co is where you can easily receive Bitcoins by selling and auctioning off your own personal items or promote business products and services for Bitcoins. You heard right. Whether personal or business, you can now buy, sell, and auction your products and services quickly, easily, and securely for Bitcoin at bidbit.co, the first and only marketplace website to offer BidBit Escrow, a proprietary technology which gives buyers and sellers security and peace of mind because all transactions are protected. Start today. It's free to join, free to post, free to auction, and free to bid at bidbit.co. Buy, sell, bid, or auction everything Bitcoin. That's www.bidbit.co. bidbit.co.
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number, 1-855-905-MY-TV. The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. Say goodbye to the cable guy and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. Sign up for packages starting as low as $19.99 and there's no equipment to buy. You get free HD TV upgrade, a free DVR upgrade, and free professional installation. You control what you watch when you watch it. Record your favorite shows, pause and rewind live TV, even skip the commercials. Watch local channels too. At just $19.99, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV. Say goodbye to the cable guy. Cut costs and get more. 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV.
This alert just came in. This special announcement is for business owners and leaders of organizations who've been waiting for the right time to build. General Steel has made it impossible to wait any longer with rock-bottom prices that could save you thousands. That's right, General Steel, America's leader in pre-engineered structures, is offering buildings at prices you will never see again. Don't miss these prices. A 50 by 100 for $35,000. You heard right. That's 5,000 square feet for $35,000. Manufacturers, if you need a larger building, try a 100 by 100 commercial building for $129,000. You can't afford to rent with these prices. Imagine a 70 by 100-foot church building for under $69,000. With the economy improving and interest rates still at historic lows, you can't afford to wait. So call 866-91-STEEL. Lock in your price now. Call 866-91-STEEL. That's 866-917-8335.
Dr. Shealy, during the break, I just posted a link on the website, an article about a man who was just shot. His name is LeVar Jones, and he was shot and wounded by a police officer in Columbia, South Carolina. I've been to Columbia, South Carolina. It used to be a textile area where we actually had some manufacturing going on. I think we've stopped that. But so this man, LeVar Jones, was pulled over for a seatbelt accusation by a cop. And so the cop demanded his license and registration. So LeVar Jones went to get his wallet. The cop shot him. And so here we have a situation, just another situation, because he moved for his wallet, and the cop just shot him. And now, if you look at, and there's a reason why I'm going through all this. If you look at a guy named Steve Engel, he's one of us at USA Prepares. He's a historian. He's been to multiple meetings with us. He's been to the farmhouse. He's been to the meetups. He's been to the our events. He's been to some sheriff's meetings with us. Well, a cop showed up at his house, and 12:30 at night, rang his doorbell, and he lives in the city, so he has his 45 with him, and he looks out the window, sees the cops, and he transfers the the gun from his right hand to his left hand and holds it by the muzzle, opens the door. The cops put a gun in his face, say, drop the gun, and Steve just freezes. Doesn't move at all. So the cops beat him up. Now, the reason I'm telling you the two stories is, one, the cops say license, registration. LeVar Jones goes for his license in his wallet and gets shot. Steve Engel freezes. He's afraid he's going to get shot by the cops who have a gun in his face, And he just stands there and gets beat up. I mean, so there really is no choice. I mean, if you move, you're likely to get shot. If you don't move, you're likely to get beat up and or shot. So it's a terrible situation. Now, the reason I'm going through all this is the death penalty. Now, in Missouri, we just put someone to death by lethal injection, and this man was accused and convicted of murder. All right. Well, in my mind, I'm thinking that there are possibilities where someone can be convicted, and some of our instructors have been convicted, wrongfully convicted, put in maximum security for rape and murder, and haven't done it, and they could have been executed because of the death penalty. So, Dr. Shealy, what I'm asking you as a medical doctor, as someone who's seen life and death up close, personal, multiple times, what are your thoughts on the death penalty?
I'm opposed to it. And the reason I'm opposed to it is I don't think we can ever practically ever be 1,000% certain. I believe people should be imprisoned, probably for life most of the time when they have been convicted of murder. But I think the fact that one innocent person is actually euthanized, which is a kind way of putting it, is unacceptable. And we know that there are numerous people who, after they've been killed by the law, who've been proven later to be innocent. So I don't believe in it at all. I think we should not have a death penalty anywhere.
Well, I'm in total agreement with you. Not everybody agrees with us, Dr. Shealy, but I certainly am in the same camp as you, because the system, the government, makes too many mistakes. And I was chatting about this with our engineer Trevor just before the broadcast. And court is about procedure. It's about rules. It's not so much about right and wrong and what really happened. It's about manipulating and maneuvering words so that things can and can't be said. And here's something else that I wanted to share. At the meetup on Monday, there was a man sitting in the back corner of the restaurant, which is kind of unusual at Jimmy's Egg, and he's been there several times. As a matter of fact, he was at the Get Prepared Expo, and he was at the dinners. He bought 3 dinners. And it's very quiet, didn't say anything, just sat in the back corner. And so John Dollarheight went over to say hi to him and introduce himself. And we found out he was a former cop. And he was told by his superiors to write reports. There were some reports that were missing, and he was to write these reports to replace the missing reports. And he was told what to put in the reports and what to omit from the reports. And he quit. He quit because he wouldn't compromise his ethics and creating reports on the record that were not accurate. So when and what was very interesting about this, Dr. Shealy, is at the meetup, that particular meetup was about the blue plague and men in black dresses. Some may call them judges. So men in black dresses and the blue plague, and this man was, when I was speaking at the meetup, his eyes were glued to me. He was listening to every single word. Never said a word, though. And I found that fascinating. I could see him watching my every syllable, every word. And he never said, "Finelli, you're out of your mind. Cops are good." Never said that. He actually went on to the microphone and said that he witnessed this. And he said he also saw something, and I'd like to get your opinion on this. He said that he knows of 2 cases where MPs said to him that they couldn't wait to get out of the service so they could mess people up. That's why they wanted to, they were delighted to be MPs, but they really wanted to get out and wreak havoc on us. So now the question is this a congenital situation where people, are really looking to be bullies with badges and guns and tasers and handcuffs and weapons of torture. Is this congenital or is this enhanced? Is this trained or is it both?
I think it's both. I think people who choose to go into that often, have that streak. And if the particular force itself, that particular department, is run by a mean, obnoxious bully, then they're likely to become that.
That absolutely makes sense, because he said it comes from the top. He said that these guys are made to do things that they don't want to do. Now, my position is, of course, I don't take direction very well, and I'm sure you don't either. But someone tells us to do something that we think is wrong, we're just not going to do it. We're going to walk away, or we might not walk away, but we're certainly not going to do it. But others, and I've talked to Mrs. Finelli about this, and she says, well, it's their job. And I go, I don't care whether it's their job or not. You don't harm people just because somebody above you says you're going to get fired if you don't. And then she'll say, well, yeah, but they have to put food on the table. But that doesn't mean they have to beat people up and violate their rights.
No, we seem to have reached an extreme throughout this country, and I can't really comment on any other country because we can't trust the media for any of it anyway.
Alzheimer's, Dr. Shealy, there's some new research that says that that cells devour arginine, and so there's a link between low arginine levels and Alzheimer's.
Oh, well, there's a link between many, many, many things, biochemically and habit-wise. Alzheimer's is a preventable disease. And if you intervene early, it is reversible. It just requires good all-around nutrition. The evidence is overwhelming that these people tend to be low in one or more of the B vitamins, vitamin C, vitamin E, antioxidants in general. And so it's part goes back often to an lack of common sense.
Well, so if we have a family member, if we have friends or who know people, or we know people who have what appears to be Alzheimer's, what would your prescription be?
Well, first thing would be I would actually do a provocative chelation test to see what kind of heavy metals they have in them. And if they are loaded with any heavy metal, they need chelation therapy, among other things. But then secondly, I would want them to be on 100 milligrams of B complex a day. I'd want them to be on astaxanthine, 20 milligrams a day. I would want them on tocotrienols, 100 milligrams of the gamma delta a day, which is, of course, Kyani Sunset. Vitamin C, I really do like the combination in youth formula because it's 2,000 milligrams of vitamin C and 1,000 milligrams of MSM, and they work together. And then I would say 3,000 or 4,000 milligrams of CoQ10. Of omega-3s and a couple of 100 milligrams of CoQ10. That's a lot of stuff, but these people need to get nutrition as quickly as possible.
Well, I can tell you, my mom is 92, and she just came back from her annual wellness checkup. And her doctor said, wow, I hope I'm as healthy as you are at your age. When he's at her age, if he makes it to 92. And she does, and she does take vitamin B complex, Kyani Sunset, vitamin C with MSM, CoQ10, and Kyani Nitro Extreme.
Oh, yes.
And Dr. Shealy, she has... Yeah, she has CHF, and she used to have this coughing and fluid, and we found that by increasing her Kyanie Nitro Extreme, as well as the supplements that she takes, she doesn't have that cough. She really doesn't. So
that's my okay approval. Knocking wood.
We'll be right back with Dr. Norm Shealy. By now you know that USAPrepares.com is your source for water filtration systems. Here at the farm, we use our water filtration system for drinking, cooking, and for our cats and dogs. Which brand are we using? Well, that would be the ProPure system, because it filters out pathogens, microbes, chlorine, and fluoride. Multiple sources indicate that fluoride is responsible for lowering our IQs by 5%. Now, how many of you would like to sign up for a lower IQ? USAPrepares.com offers ProPure water filtration systems and accessories at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate. We buy them by the pallet loads and pass the savings on to you. And if you're outside of Missouri, there's no sales tax. And if this appeals to you, visit USAPrepares.com. That's USAPrepares.com. You can order online, and we have the ProPure water filtration systems in stock, ready to ship. USAPrepares.com. ProPure water filtration systems at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate.
Attention taxpayers! If you've received a notice from the IRS or state, do not ignore it. It's also a big mistake to try and handle your tax problem on your own. If you owe back taxes, it's a fact that the government has the power to take everything you own, including your home, business, wages, savings, and your freedom. But here's the good news. There's a special toll-free tax hotline set up especially for you. This tax hotline will tell you about new programs that are geared to help you dramatically settle, reduce, or eliminate what you owe. But you have to call now. Take down this number or put it in your cell phone. But call 877-345-7645. That's 877-345-7645. When you call, you get free information on how you can reduce or eliminate back taxes, including penalties and interest. You can also be helped if you have unfiled returns, a tax lien, wage garnishment, bank levy, or if you've been entered into a payment plan but can't make the payments. Don't make the big mistake in thinking you can ignore or handle your tax problem on your own. You can stop the collection process immediately at 1-877-345-7645. That's 1-877-345-7645. 1-877-345-7645.
We live in a complicated society. Stressful issues are always popping up. Have you ever been treated unfairly by someone? Have you ever been overcharged for a repair? Have you ever signed a contract or a document? Worried about identity theft? How many times have you been in those unique situations where you just wanted to call an attorney to find out if you're right or wrong, or what your legal rights are? But every time you think about calling an attorney, what do you think about first? That's right. Who do you call, and how much will it cost? Our friends at Legal Shield have found a solution. With a nationwide network of 6,900 attorneys who average over 19 years of experience, Legal Shield's law firms take over 40,000 calls per week helping their members. For less than $20 per month, you can have access to Legal Shield on everything from the trivial to the traumatic. Let Legal Shield stand up for your rights at lsprotection.com. That's lsprotection.com. Or call 855-340-SAVE, 855-340-7283.
Results will vary from case to case.
This alert just came in. This special announcement is for business owners and leaders of organizations who've been waiting for the right time to build. General Steel has made it impossible to wait any longer with rock-bottom prices that could save you thousands. That's right, General Steel, America's leader in pre-engineered structures, is offering buildings at prices you will never see again. Don't miss these prices. A 50 by 100 for $35,000. You heard right, that's 5,000 square feet for $35,000. Manufacturers, if you need a larger building, try a 100 by 100 commercial building for $129,000. You can't afford to rent with these prices. Imagine a 70 by 100 foot church building for under $69,000. With the economy improving and interest rates still at historic lows, you can't afford to wait. So call 866-91-STEEL. Lock in your price now. Call 866-91-STEEL. That's 866-917-8335.
Heart and Body Extract continues to receive positive testimonials from people who have experienced amazing results, like Reed.
I just wanted to send you a quick but a very big thank you for Heart and Body Extract. I've been on the formula for nearly a month now, and the improvement in the circulation of my legs has been simply amazing.
Reed was facing a tough choice.
I was facing surgery. due to the severity of the 100% blocked arteries in both my legs. And my decision, waiting for surgery, to say no and try heart and body extract instead, has been thankfully the right decision.
And the result?
I can now walk up steps without noticeable pain.
Order Heart and Body Extract at 866-295-5305, 866-295-5305, or hbextract.com. Heart and Body Extract for a long and healthy life.
Dr. Norm Shealy is with us, normshealy.com, NORMSHEALY.com. Dr. Shealy, my mom went to a Medicare wellness checkup. Her physician's office has been calling and saying, we want to do it. And they wanted to have this wellness checkup with a nurse practitioner. And my mom said, no, I think I'd rather have this checkup with my doctor. And the reason for this checkup is to complete this wellness checkup questionnaire. That's what they wanted to do. That was the purpose. They really didn't want to see her. What they really wanted to do was have her fill out this questionnaire. So let me go through some of this with you, and I'd like to get some of your thoughts. So it starts out with, what is your age? 65 to 69, you check these boxes. 70 to 79, 80 or older. So she checks the 80 or older box. Are you male or female?
Yes.
Female. Now, this is pretty self-evident. Now, so obviously it's not her doctor that wants this information. It's some other group, right?
Right.
Then it goes on to question 3. During the past 4 weeks, how much have you been bothered by emotional problems, such as feeling anxious, depressed, irritable, sad, downhearted, and blue? And the choices are not at all, slightly, moderately, quite a bit, extremely. Then the next question. During the past 4 weeks, has your physical and emotional health limited your social activities with family, friends, neighbors, and groups? And the choices are not at all, slightly, moderately, quite a bit, extremely. Dr. Shealy, does this seem like questions that you might ask initially, or do you think there is a nefarious purpose?
No, I think it's a typical bureaucratic bull.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, when a person comes in to see me, my number one question is, great, how are you? Number 2, okay, have you got any problems? And if I were the genie in a bottle, what would be your number 1 wish from me, number 2, and number 3? I find that very effective at getting people to tell me exactly what they hope to accomplish while they're with me.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Then, next question. During the past 4 weeks, how much bodily pain have you generally had? No pain, mild, very mild pain, moderate pain, severe pain. And then this one actually seems to make sense. And as a medical doctor, I would want to know this of my patient, and that is, during the past 4 weeks, was someone available to help you if you needed and wanted help? Okay, I think that's something that I would want to know, because I'd want to know if that person was alone. What if that person needed help with meals and so forth. But then it says, for example, if you felt very nervous, lonely, or blue, got sick, had to stay in bed, needed someone to talk to, needed help with your daily chores, or needed help taking care of yourself. So they want to know if you need help, but if you felt nervous, lonely, or blue. It seems to get back to emotional state in these questions. Let's see. Can you prepare your own meals? Yes or no? Can you go shopping for groceries or clothes without someone's help? Can you do housework without help? Yes or no? Can you handle your own money without help? during the past 4 weeks, how would you, I guess, rate your health in general? So those are just some of the questions that my mom was asked. When we get back, I've got some more, and I'd like to get your medical opinion on what's this all about. What do you think this is all about? And obviously, this is entered in a computer system and tracked for whatever reason. Dr. Shealy and I will be right back. NormShealy.com, medical doctor, brain surgeon, surgeon of the year. NormShealy.com.
Attention taxpayers! If you've received a notice from the IRS or state, do not ignore it. It's also a big mistake to try and handle your tax problem on your own. If you owe back taxes, it's a fact that the government has the power to take everything you own, including your home, business, wages, savings, and your freedom. But here's the good news. There's a special toll-free tax hotline set up especially for you. This tax hotline will tell you about new programs that are geared to help you dramatically settle, reduce, or eliminate what you owe. But you have to call now. Take down this number or put it in your cell phone. But call 877-345-7645. That's 877-345-7645. When you call, you'll get free information on how you can reduce or eliminate back taxes, including penalties and interest. You can also be helped if you have unfiled returns, a tax lien, wage garnishment, bank levy, or if you've been entered into a payment plan but can't make the payments. Don't make the big mistake in thinking you can ignore or handle your tax problem on your own. You can stop the collection process immediately at 1-877-345-7645. That's 1-877-345-7645. 1-877-345-7645.
You're fired. According to the Small Business Administration, 75% of small businesses plan to eliminate jobs or reduce workers' hours to part-time. You're fired. According to Gallup, the unemployment rate recently jumped to nearly 9%, and the underemployment rate hit a staggering 17.9%. You're fired. 1 out of 3 young adults and 1 out of 2 recent college graduates are underemployed. Hello, I'm Keith Abel, a pharmacist and a home business entrepreneur. In 2011, I became one of those statistics myself. Instead of looking for another job in corporate America, I joined Dr. Joel Wallach, the Dead Doctors Don't Lie guy. We're creating steady incomes for ourselves and would like to show you how to do the same. If you want to supplement your current income, replace your income, so you don't have to become one of the statistics, then give me a call toll-free at 866-257-3105, 866-257-3105. You're fired. Don't wait till you hear those words. Start creating an extra income today. 866-257-3105.
Attention taxpayers! If you've received a notice from the IRS or state, do not ignore it. It's also a big mistake to try and handle your tax problem on your own. If you owe back taxes, it's a fact that the government has the power to take everything you own, including your home, business, wages, savings, and your freedom. But here's the good news. There's a special toll-free tax hotline set up especially for you. This tax hotline will tell you about new programs that are geared to help you dramatically settle, reduce, or eliminate what you owe. But you have to call now. Take down this number or put it in your cell phone. But call 877-345-7645. That's 877-345-7645. When you call, you'll get free information on how you can reduce or eliminate back taxes, including penalties and interest. You can also be helped if you have unfiled returns, a tax lien, wage garnishment, bank levy, or if you've been entered into a payment plan but can't make the payments. Don't make the big mistake in thinking you can ignore or handle your tax problem on your own. You can stop the collection process immediately at 1-877-345-7645. That's 1-877-345-7645. 1-877-345-7645.
Everyone all set, cocked, locked, blissed. Here we go. Hour number 2 of USAPrepares.com with Dr. Norman Shealy. Dr. Shealy, I was just looking at the internet during the top of the hour news and commercial announcements, and protesters across the United States, several cities have blocked highways, and they've swarmed police precincts, and they've had it. They've absolutely had it with death by cop. Murder by cop, tasings by cops. We've had it too. Steve Engel was beaten by the cops. There are several of us who have been pushed around by the cops, and we've absolutely had it. Well, there's some marches and protests going on in the United States, and so what do the cops do? Well, they arrest the protesters. That's what they do. So I can see that the next step is there'll be some escalation from the protesters. I mean, this is my vision. It's not my wish. It's my vision of what I see coming. People who are going to continue to protest. There's going to be some more pushing and shoving, and then the shots get fired. I mean, that's just the way it'll probably work out. Unfortunate, but that's probably what's going to happen. And then what's going to happen is people are probably going to lose their tempers. and they're going to see anybody in a blue uniform or a dark black uniform. They're going to say, you know what? Those guys are all the same. They beat us. They tase us. They handcuff us. They put us in prison. There's no justice. And then they're going to start taking it out on uniforms. I just can't see that coming.
Well,
so just my thoughts.
Is this the beginning of a true revolution? Or is it
I think it is, Dr. Shealy.
Preamble?
I think it's the beginning of a revolution. And you know, I'm looking at this picture. I posted it on the website usapreparedness.com, and what they've got is they've got this SWAT vehicle. This thing is the size of a Greyhound bus. It's got a ladder. It's got, you know, a place where they can shoot from the top. This thing is a weapon of war against the people. You know, so what do they need these special weapons and tactics and snipers for? As a matter of fact, there's a guy who came to the expo, and he happened to tell me that he was going. He's going to be at the expo, but then he was going for sniper training. He's a cop. He's going for sniper training, so he's going to learn how to execute people. Now, really, are we that bad? Are we really that bad that local police in like Lebanon, Missouri need to learn these special weapons and tactics? Lebanon's got less than 20,000 people. So we need to have our own executioner, you know, our own rooftop executioner, you know, and someone says, okay, kill him, shoot, kill him. And because that executioner, that particular police sniper has been told by his superior, go ahead and kill him, that sniper fires a shot and takes a life. And that's okay, because that's justified, right? Because someone told him to do it. Whatever happened to morals? Whatever happened to ethics? Whatever happened to say, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to kill that guy. I'm not doing it.
Well, of course, it's one of the reasons, the last thing on earth other than a plumber that I would have thought of being would have been a cop.
Yeah.
I put plumber slightly ahead of it because I have such a delicate sense of smell.
Dr. Shealy, when I was probably in second grade, you know, and the teacher said to the class, what would you like to be? You know, when the boys answered, it would probably be a policeman or a fireman, right? Maybe a teacher. Those are people that we looked up to back in the 1950s. That's no longer the case. And now we may still look up to firemen, but it's hard to look up to a cop. It really is. And I keep hearing that there's so many good ones. Really? Where are they? Where are they? They're told to snipe. They're told to snipe with their radar guns. You know, let's say a guy is speeding. What happens? Then a chase ensues, right? The cops will follow that person, chase them, and now we've got a reckless situation. We've got two vehicles out of control. And then if the cop can't stop that speeder, they'll start shooting. This is nuts. Absolutely nuts. And it's sanctioned by saying it's our policy. It's our procedure. As a matter of fact, not only is it our procedure, we've got it written down. We've even trained these guys how to do this. And where is the community outrage? As a matter of fact, I'm waiting for a call this afternoon from the mayor of Lebanon, Missouri, so he can explain to me why they brought this black fire truck, why they brought the other fire truck, why it came in with lights and sirens and horns blaring, and why they disrupted the Get Prepared Expo. Why? And they burdened us. Why? And then the manager of the Cowan Civic Center tells me, hey, if it were up to me, I would have sent 6 more cops. For what? Dr. Shealy, just on the record, did you see just one instance of anything that would require the police presence? Just one instance of anything? Any pushing, shoving, raised voice?
Oh, no.
Anything at all?
No, this was less rowdy than a teenage prom.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Okay. Dr. Shealy, there's a post on the website about herpes and how you can contract herpes by being in a tanning bed. Moisture, bodily fluids, sweat, and so forth. Of course, I don't recommend using a tanning bed at all, but some of these, they're not quite public, but you can go to your hairdresser and go in the back room there and subscribe to a tanning bed service. Why would anybody want to do that, number one? And what do you think about contracting a disease from other people's sweat on our skin?
Well, yeah, obviously, I often say, in today's world, I'm not even certain I want to shake hands with many people.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the same thing. You never can be sure. It is always a reminder to wash your hands frequently.
Mm-hmm. Would you use a tanning bed?
No.
Okay.
I would not like to wallow in somebody else's bed.
Okay.
If you know what I mean,
Sure. And yeah. And Dr. Shealy, I was talking with Trevor before the broadcast, and I made this statement, and he said, you're right. I said, people who use tanning beds, I've noticed, when they use them frequently, that their skin is more leathery, more old-looking, more aged than I think it would normally be without using a tanning bed. Now, I can't prove it because it's not like a study with twins and one's in the tanning bed and one's identical twins. One uses a tanning bed and, has the exact same life as the other twin. But what I can say is I've seen, people who have cut my hair over the years who have a tanning bed in, the back room of their beauty salon, and they hop in it all the time, and they're getting older faster.
Well, you know why?
Ultraviolet light.
They're not getting adequate antioxidants like astaxanthin or nitroextreme. I mean, let's face it. I believe that astaxanthin and nitroextreme are the top tier of the many, many, many antioxidants available to us.
Well, we take it.
Well, of course.
Okay. Next question. And by the way, class, if you're interested, there's a link on the website, usaprepares.com, Kyani, Kyani, nitro, nitroxtreme. I take it every day. Mrs. Finelli takes it. My mom takes it. And I believe it helps us with endurance. I believe it really helps my mother with congestive heart failure. Really. She was, when we lived in Virginia, she was not on Kyani Nitro Extreme, and her health is great. It really is. You might have seen her at the expo running around. Fibromyalgia, that term keeps coming up, Dr. Shealy. What do we know about it, and is there anything we can do about it?
I just sent in today the lead article for a pain magazine on myofascial pain and fibromyalgia. I guess I know a bit about it.
Okay.
It interestingly, I did an extremely extensive review of the literature, hundreds of articles, and the American College of Rheumatology is about as senseless as a tobacco company. It changed the definition even a few years ago, and now there's a major study that shows that experts cannot make the diagnosis. True people who call themselves experts in the field properly make the diagnosis between 21 and 38% of the time. So it's a very difficult thing because of the criteria. But here's my feeling about fibromyalgia. Number one, they hurt all over. Almost the entire body at one time or another throughout a week will have significant and often disabling pain. Secondly, 100% of them are depressed. A huge number, almost all of them, have chronic fatigue. Those are the three big symptoms. Where they hurt is not nearly as important as the fact that it's such a total body experience. experience. And it really fits into a broader category of problems that I have called for over 20 years now, electromagnetic dysthymia. In other words, something major happens to the body. It could be a hard viral infection, it could be an accident, it could be surgery. Some major trauma occurs, and they stop sleeping well, and their adrenaline stays up all night. And that is sort of the foundation for developing this particular problem. So the electrical system of the brain is shot.
The electrical nervous system of the brain is shot?
Yeah, short-circuited, shot, not working well.
Can it be rewired?
Yes, we need to talk about that.
We'll talk about that when we come back. By now you know that USAPrepares.com is your source for water filtration systems. Here at the farm, we use our water filtration system for drinking, cooking, and for our cats and dogs. Which brand are we using? Well, that would be the ProPure system, because it filters out pathogens, microbes, chlorine, and fluoride. Multiple sources indicate that fluoride is responsible for lowering our IQs by 5%. Now, how many of you would like to sign up for a lower IQ? USAPrepares.com offers ProPure water filtration systems and accessories at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate. We buy them by the pallet loads and pass the savings on to you. And if you're outside of Missouri, there's no sales tax. And if this appeals to you, visit USAPrepares.com. That's USAPrepares.com. You can order online, and we have the ProPure water filtration systems in stock, ready to ship. USAPrepares.com. ProPure water filtration systems at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate.
Hi, John Hubner from Midas Resources. Are you tired of hard-earned assets dwindle away? As government spending is out of hand and the Federal Reserve is creating in excess of $20 billion a week, are you tired of stockbrokers gambling away your hard-earned money? Is this market a setup for a crash greater than 1987? Too many of today's policies resemble those that led to the collapse of 1929. This is John Hubner, and that was me in 2007. And we all know what happened when the subprime credit bubble burst. By March 2009, the dollar lost 50% of its value. The entire U.S. banking system was on the verge of collapsing. Like all financial problems of the past, is history about to repeat itself? Call me, John Hubner, at 1-800-686-2237, extension 129, before it's too late to protect yourself. Will the oncoming catastrophe take all private IRAs, 401ks with it? There is a way to protect your hard-earned assets. Call me, John Hubner, at 1-800-686-2237, extension 129.
There's a man named Dr. Joel Wallach who is anything but your typical doctor, both a veterinarian and naturopathic physician. Doc asks, why does the United States spend more money on healthcare by far and still rank 50th in health and longevity worldwide? He believes that people should empower themselves with a basic understanding of nutrition, take charge of their health, and attain optimal health and longevity through nutrition, not by toxic prescription drugs that lead to side effects and more toxic prescription drugs. Doc Wallach's message is resonating with an increasing number of Americans who are waking up to all the big government, big pharma, and big insurance manipulation of our healthcare system. I'm George Norrie, and I like what Doc Wallach is saying and doing to enlighten people about health care. Visit brightsideben.com and listen to Doc Wallach's Deadly Recipes lecture. It makes a lot of sense, and I urge you to join the Brightside Ben team. Go to brightsideben.com. That's brightsideben.com.
Making the right decisions is a challenge to investors. Are we going to see economic growth, slide into a recession, or at worst, depression? Hi, Ted Anderson from Midas Resources. We all know when a company acts irresponsibly, divesting ourselves in a move towards safety is prudent. When the market becomes volatile, U.S. Treasuries are a safe haven. But what do you do when the U.S. government overextends itself and spends beyond its means? Many investors are turning toward gold as a common-sense alternative to traditional paper investments. Midas Resources has put together a powerful book titled 10 Reasons to Own Gold, discussing costs, benefits, risks, featuring full-color illustrations, weights, and measures. The book is free and can be yours by calling 800-686-2237. Paper investments are dwarfed by gold's 6,000-year history. Discover how gold may be right for you and your IRA by calling 800-686-2237. Whether buying or it's time for you to sell, the book is free. Call 800-686-2237.
Dr. Norm Shealy is with us. And, class, I just want to let you know, Ed Marvini's been working hard on the website, usersite.com. Ed Marvini was at the Get Prepared Expo. He's at the farm, and we had a great time, and he's helping us with our website. And so we're putting the products for your perusal on the website, and I've got a lot of editing to do on some of the products and lowering the prices to below, suggested prices and giving you instant rebates. So that's happening today and tomorrow. So I just want to let you know we are on track. Also, the RK Prepper Show. It's this Saturday and Sunday in Indianapolis, Indiana, at the State Fairgrounds. I'm going to be there, and I'll be speaking about on Saturday and Sunday on how to start your own business and take the same tax deductions that the rich take. Okay, I'll be teaching you how to do that. I'll be teaching you strategies that work, and the seminar is absolutely free. So if you decide that you want to go to the event, it's $12. That's what they charge. I don't get paid for any of this. I'm just volunteering my time, and so I am going to teach you what to do, or at least tell you what I think works. And also, if you'd like to have dinner, maybe we can get a group of us together and we'll go grab dinner somewhere, and I'll be Dutch. And so we'll each pay for our own dinner, and we'll just get together and talk about strategies. And so if you're up for this, I suggest that you decide in your own mind, yep, I already started my business today, or I'm going to start my business today. That's all you have to do. Just make that mental decision that you're going to start your own business. And then going to this event for your educational experience will be tax deductible at 56.5 cents a mile, plus your meals, plus, your entry of $12 minus $2 discount coupon, which is available at rkshows.com. Go to our website, usaprepares.com, and you'll find information about this event. That's this Saturday, Sunday. Rick Miller's going to be here, or there with us, Matt Stein, and Stormin Norman Cantwell, as well as Dr. Patrick Vickers. And so you'll get a chance to see a few of your usaprepares.com instructors Saturday and Sunday. Dr. Shealy, one of the things that I'd like to talk about is children. Oh, wait, you were gonna have more information. Excuse me.
Well, yes, and by the way, I do want to mention Ed. I think he's one of the greatest people I've ever met.
You're talking about Ed Marvini?
Yeah, isn't he a gem?
Absolutely, absolutely. And do you know how we got acquainted?
No.
Okay, let me just share this very quickly with you. I was broadcasting on Republic Broadcasting, and this broadcast, our broadcast today, and USA Prepares is carried by Republic Broadcasting as well. That's John Stadtmiller's network. So they picked that up. So right after we're off the air on GCN, immediately it's rebroadcast on Republic Broadcasting. And so I was asked to do a fundraiser for Republic Broadcasting, and I said, okay, I'll do it, but reluctantly. I don't like doing that. But I said, I'll do it, but I want to know who has contributed how much, because I'll match each person's contribution up to $1,000 total. And so I'll need their names, phone numbers, email addresses. And so after the contributions were made that day, I got the list immediately as an email, and I started calling and thanking each person who contributed. Ed Marvini was one of the contributors. So I called him, and he was surprised. He was surprised that I called him to thank him. And so we got to talking, and he talked about how he wanted to, buy a ranch or a farm. And I said, well, come on up. Come on up to the meetup, and come on over and stay at the farm, and I'll show you around. I'll show you. And so I didn't know him. He didn't know me. I said, come on up. And so we got to be great friends. And then he saw the website, in my original website that I worked on by myself. And he said, Vinny, maybe I could tweak it just a little bit. And I said, well, that'd be great. Thanks. And so when he was done, it was completely different. He was being very kind by saying, let me just tweak it a little bit. He rebuilt it. I mean, from scratch. And so he's a great friend. He's an instructor. He's been on the air with us. He stays at the farm. So that's Ed Marvini. He's just an outgoing, great guy. So you're absolutely right. That's the story.
Okay, I sent you during the break an outline of electromagnetic dysthymia. Basically, it's very poorly diagnosed by the average physician, in almost all physicians, and it is among the most difficult things to treat, but it is treatable. I've reversed it in scores of people. And so the most important thing is that you need to restore a lot of things that are missing, like astaxanthin, vitamin D. They need air bliss and fire bliss. They really need the LISS cranial electrical stimulator, now sold as Fisher-Wallace.
All right, hold that thought. By now you know that USAPrepares.com is your source for water filtration systems. Here at the farm, we use our water filtration system for drinking, cooking, and for our cats and dogs. Which brand are we using? Well, that would be the ProPure system, because it filters out pathogens, microbes, chlorine, and fluoride. Multiple sources indicate that fluoride is responsible for lowering our IQs by 5%. Now, how many of you would like to sign up for a lower IQ? USAPrepares.com offers ProPure water filtration systems and accessories at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate. We buy them by the pallet loads and pass the savings on to you. And if you're outside of Missouri, there's no sales tax. And if this appeals to you, visit USAPrepares.com. That's USAPrepares.com. You can order online, and we have the ProPure water filtration systems in stock, ready to ship. USAPrepares.com. ProPure water filtration systems at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate.
If the IRS has garnished your paycheck or seized money from your bank account, you need to get professional tax help now. Fast action is required to put a halt to these aggressive IRS collection tactics. You can count on the knowledgeable team of tax professionals at Wall & Associates. With over 30 years of experience, Wall & Associates has settled the tax problems of thousands of taxpayers for a small fraction of what they owed. For a free face-to-face consultation, call 1-800-425-4610 to put a wall between you and the IRS. 1-800-425-4610 or look for us on the web at wallandassociates.net. We solve tax problems. If you hire Wall & Associates today, you'll never have to talk to the IRS again. To stop the levies and seizures today, take action now. Call Wall & Associates at 1-800-425-4610. Wall & Associates. 1-800-425-4610. Based on actual cases, results may vary, not a solicitation for legal services.
Attention taxpayers! If you've received a notice from the IRS or state, do not ignore it. It's also a big mistake to try and handle your tax problem on your own. If you owe back taxes, it's a fact that the government has the power to take everything you own, including your home, business, wages, savings, and your freedom. But here's the good news. There's a special toll-free tax hotline set up especially for you. This tax hotline will tell you about new programs that are geared to help you dramatically settle, reduce, or eliminate what you owe. But you have to call now. Take down this number or put it in your cell phone. But call 877-345-7645. That's 877-345-7645. When you call, you get free information on how you can reduce or eliminate back taxes, including penalties and interest. You can also be helped if you have unfiled returns, a tax lien, wage garnishment, bank levy, or if you have been entered into a payment plan but can't make the payments. Don't make the big mistake in thinking you can ignore or handle your tax problem on your own. You can stop the collection process immediately at 1-877-345-7645. That's 1-877-345-7645. 1-877-345-7645.
Positive results from satisfied customers of Heart and Body Extract continue to pour into our website, hbextract.com.
This is Al from New Jersey. One day I saw your ad for Heart and Body Extract, and it mentioned that it would help me with angina, so I decided to order. I figure I had nothing to lose.
Heart and Body Extract supplies your body with everything it needs to balance itself and maintain optimal heart and circulatory health with no negative side effects.
I took the formula 3 times a day as directed, and I kid you not, within 4 days my angina pain was completely gone.
Order HB Extract by calling 866-295-5305 or online at hbextract.com. That's 866-295-5305 or hbextract.com.
I could not believe it actually stopped the pain. Heart and Body Extract actually works. This is just an amazing product. Even the numbness in my hands is completely gone.
Heart and Body Extract for a long and healthy life.
For over 5 years, you've been hearing about the Berkey guy, so you may know a few things about him. For example, you are well aware of the superior quality and effectiveness of Berkey water filters and accessories. But did you know the Berkeys have had independent lab tests done to prove just how effective they are? It's true, and he can email you the test results. Just visit goberkey.com. You may also know that the Berkey guy has helped tens of thousands of people get better prepared. Now here's something you may not know.
GoBerkey.com has amazing specials and deals all the time on a wide variety of survival and preparedness products. Most ready to ship same day. Visit the Berkey Guy at GoBerkey.com and be sure to click the red Products on Sale Now button. You can always call toll-free 877-886-3653. Again, that's 877-886-3653. GoBerkey.com, home of the Berkey Guy.
Dr. Norman Shealy is with us. NormShealy.com, 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 and you can sign up for the same free newsletter that I get multiple times per week. By the way, Dr. Shealy, you're going to be on in an hour and 35 minutes. You're going to be on HayHouseRadio.com, HayHouse radio.com. May I ask what you'll be talking about?
Well, let me see. I have to. I'll be talking about stress of some kind.
Okay.
It's always stress.
And will you be having other medical professionals on with you?
No, I rarely do, because I've learned that people just want me to answer their questions, and they really don't want to listen to anybody else. It isn't they won't listen to me; they just want me to answer their health questions.
Okay. So how does this work? Okay, so you just get up at the microphone, you fire up the broadcast, and then you take calls? Is that how you...
I usually give one or two sentences of things that, I think are important for the day, and then the calls come. And
Dr. Shealy, I have never seen anything like your broadcast. I've been in the studio with you in Springfield, and you'll just say, I'm Dr. Shealy, I'm on the air, and you can be too. Kathy, what's your question? It's amazing. I've never seen, and you'll take, about 20 plus calls per hour. Amazing. I've never seen anything like it. And you've been doing it how long? A couple decades?
Years. I'm in my 27th year.
Wow. Time flies.
And I'm going to continue at least another 18.
Yeah. Dr. Shealy, we're talking about fibromyalgia and the brain, rewiring the brain. Did you have any other thoughts?
Well, if people want to go to my Optimal Health, they can find the electromagnetic dystymia thing. I sent you a copy of it if you want to use it in any way. But basically, it is curable. It does take about 3 months. The brain has to be essentially rebooted. It's like turning your computer on again. But there are lots of nutrients and lots of good things that one can do, and they're all safe, by the way.
And that's on your website?
Yes.
Okay. That's normshealy.com. I was reading a post before the broadcast, Dr. Shealy, about young children, toddlers, and lack of sleep. And you have mentioned lack of sleep and how detrimental it is to our well-being. Well, they're now saying that there's been a study that lack of sleep in children causes behavior problems, later on. So when they're 5 years old, they have behavior problems. And you can see it. You can see with these young children that they act up, they run around, they cry, they whine, they moan, they demand attention, they're hyperactive. And do you think that's part of this lack of sleep, not getting 10 hours of sleep per day?
Well, it's interesting. In general, 8 is the ideal for most people. 7 people can get by. 9 people can certainly get by. People who get less than 7 or more than 9 tend to have problems, because the people who get more than 9 probably have more than the need for let's say 9 or 10 hours of sleep. And that means that they've got fatigue, they're not functioning well during the day, and they spend all of the day just trying to get enough energy to keep going, et cetera, et cetera. So an inability to sleep 7 to 9 hours means something's wrong.
Okay.
Now, in children,
as children are... Yeah. Now, children are developing. Is it the same with them, just 7 to 9, or do they need more sleep?
They need 10 to 12 or more. The earlier the child, the younger the child, the more they need. But by the teens, by the time they reach 14 or 15, they really do need a minimum of 8 to 9 hours of sleep still.
Okay. Hearing loss. Dr. Shealy, when I'm in the studio, I have these headphones on. If a class wants to see what they look like, just go to Google and look up Vincent Finelli and images. You'll see me with these headphones on. And these headphones cover my ears, but I turn the volume down really, really low. And the reason is because I don't want to damage my hearing. And when I was younger, I noticed that there were a lot of people much older than I who had trouble hearing. And they had shot firearms, they've shot guns and rifles and pistols and, these loud noises, and they worked in machine shops and they had jobs where there was a lot of noise, and they damaged their hearing. And when I am on the tractor or I'm on the farm, I have a set of earplugs that I'll put in my ears, and they're these yellow things that I squeeze down with my fingers so that they're small. I put them in the ear canal, and they expand, and they prevent these loud noises from entering and damaging my eardrums. Do you have any suggestions on how we can keep our hearing, and if we've lost some of it, is it restorable or not?
Well, interestingly, obviously, the number one thing is to avoid, really loud noises, including rock and other kinds of music. It has been demonstrated that, especially in men, a lack of aldosterone, one of the adrenal hormones that is related to potassium and water metabolism, if it is low, there's an excellent chance that you can help restore hearing by giving oral doses of aldosterone. Other than that, once it's lost, it's not easily recoverable.
Okay. So in terms of supplements, minerals, vitamins, so forth, it's hard to get it back.
It is. Now, tinnitus, or ringing in the ears, is a quite common accompaniment or even precursor of true loss of hearing. And if you do treat that with a combination of fire and air bliss for about 3 months, it will often stop the tinnitus. I don't know yet whether that stops the progression of loss of hearing, but it certainly is a relief to people who have the ringing in the ears to get rid of it.
Okay, and I know a man who was in the Korean conflict, and he was a photographer, and he was standing between two tanks, and they were their cannons were facing the same direction. He was standing between them, taking a photo, downfield, if you will, and they discharged. His ears are ringing to this day. I'm talking 5 decades.
Mm-hmm.
His ears are still ringing. The concussion was so powerful that he's never lost that ringing in his ears. So is there any hope for him, or is this just so...
Well, I would certainly try it. It's so safe if he's willing to do it for 3 months.
All right.
In 1988, I was sitting in a room talking to a friend, and all of a sudden, I had ringing in the ears just out of the blue. There it came. And it was only after I had developed both the fire and air rings that I started using those, and in exactly 3 months, it was gone.
Awesome. And you do your own research, don't you, Dr. Shealy?
Oh, yes.
Mm-hmm. And do you find, generally speaking, that your research coincides with others, a lot of the time, or do you find that it diverges?
Well, I tend to do things that other people don't research. I mean, like it started back in the 60s when I was looking for alternative ways of controlling pain without destroying the nervous system. And that's when I first introduced the use of electrical stimulation both to the spinal cord, but also to the skin to relieve pain. And so I've tended to go, to things that most people don't pay much attention to, like pain and depression. For instance, there is no circumstance under which I would recommend a drug for depression. I think they all are impossibly bad and virtually never cure depression.
I know a woman who had cancer and was in extreme pain. And she was telling me that her doctor was going to do this therapy on her, and he was going to inject vodka in her nerve endings and stop the pain. Have you heard of that?
Alcohol, yes.
and it permanently destroyed the nerve endings. So she had the pain, she just couldn't feel it.
Right. Well, I mean, if someone has that kind of pain and the nerve that is going to be destroyed is not one that's important for function, there can be a reason to do that. For instance, back in 1972, I introduced a way of destroying the nerve supply to the facet joints of the spine. Those are little joints that overlap on both sides of the vertebra that allow us to twist and move our spine in so many directions. And fortunately, the nerve that supplies that joint, the facet joint, doesn't have any sensation on the skin. And in fact, what I used to destroy it was 4.5% phenol, which is a type of alcohol, in glycerin. And it's done under, fluoroscopic X-ray control. And I've done hundreds of them, and that can be tremendously helpful for people with spinal pain. And as I said, I introduced that in 1972. There are other places where it might be used, but if you can't destroy a nerve that has no sensory feedback other than pain to the brain, it can be disabling if you destroy a nerve that gets rid of sensation in some important part of the body.
Mm-hmm. Sherry in Kansas, you're on with Dr. Norman Shealy and me. Welcome. Wow.
Well, now I hear music.
Huh? My fault, Sherry. I'm totally responsible for that. I just looked at the call screen and I didn't look at the clock. Tell you what, can you hold on and we'll bring you right on right after the break.
Okay.
Dr. Norman Shealy, Sherry, and I will be right back. By now you know that USAPrepares.com is your source for water filtration systems. Here at the farm, we use our water filtration system for drinking, cooking, and for our cats and dogs. Which brand are we using? Well, that would be the ProPure system, because it filters out pathogens, microbes, chlorine, and fluoride. Multiple sources indicate that fluoride is responsible for lowering our IQs by 5%. Now, how many of you would like to sign up for a lower IQ? USAPrepares.com offers ProPure water filtration systems and accessories at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate. We buy them by the pallet loads and pass the savings on to you. And if you're outside of Missouri, there's no sales tax. And if this appeals to you, visit USAPrepares.com. That's USAPrepares.com. You can order online, and we have the ProPure water filtration systems in stock, ready to ship. USAPrepares.com. ProPure water filtration systems at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate.
This alert just came in. This special announcement is for business owners and leaders of organizations who've been waiting for the right time to build. General Steel has made it impossible to wait any longer with rock-bottom prices that could save you thousands. That's right, General Steel, America's leader in pre-engineered structures, is offering buildings at prices you will never see again. Don't miss these prices. A 50 by 100 for $35,000. You heard right. That's 5,000 square feet for $35,000. Manufacturers, if you need a larger building, try a 100 by 100 commercial building for $129,000. You can't afford to rent with these prices. Imagine a 70 by 100-foot church building for under $69,000. With the economy improving and interest rates still at historic lows, you can't afford to wait. So call 866-91-STEEL. Lock in your price now. Call 866-91-STEEL. That's 866-917-8335.
For health and vitality for you, your family, and friends, get the Healthy Start Pack from Longevity.
as recommended by registered pharmacist Ben Fuchs.
If you're a junk food junkie, getting on the Healthy Start Pack is one of the best ways to wean yourself off of processed snack foods and start putting good nutrition in your body. If you have a loved one who's dealing with heart disease or any health challenge, the Healthy Start Pack makes a great gift. If you have a grandparent or a parent in a nursing home, you will be amazed at the difference a once-a-day dose of the Healthy Start Pack will make in your loved one's energy levels, in their memory, in their mood, and in their general outlook on life.
Give the gift of optimal health to your loved ones and order the Healthy Start Pack from Longevity by calling 866-735-2470. That's 866-735-2470 or on the web at brightsideben.com. That's brightsideben.com. Order today.
By now, you may have heard a bit about Bitcoins. But did you know Bitcoins are now over an $8.5 billion market? And did you know that over 65,000 businesses now accept Bitcoins? Listen, if you're already earning Bitcoins or trying to make money in the Bitcoin market, you've got to know bidbit.co. Why? Because bidbit.co is where you can easily receive Bitcoin by selling and auctioning off your own personal items or promote business products and services for Bitcoins. You heard right. Whether personal or business, you can now buy, sell, and auction your products and services quickly, easily, and securely for Bitcoin at bidbit.co, the first and only marketplace website to offer Bidbit Escrow, a proprietary technology which gives buyers and sellers security and peace of mind because all transactions are protected. Start today. It's free to join, free to post, free to auction, and free to bid at bidbit.co. Buy, sell, bid, or auction everything Bitcoin. That's www.bidbit.co, bidbit.co.
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number, 1-855-905-MY-TV. The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. Say goodbye to the cable guy and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. Sign up for packages starting as low as $19.99 and there's no equipment to buy. You get free HD TV upgrade, a free DVR upgrade, and free professional installation. You control what you watch when you watch it. Record your favorite shows. Pause and rewind live TV. Even skip the commercials. Watch local channels too. At just $19.99, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV. Say goodbye to the cable guy. Cut costs and get more. 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV.
Class, very quickly, I will be at the RK Prepper Show in Indianapolis, Indiana this weekend, Saturday and Sunday. So if you'd like to chat with me about starting your own business, it's tax deductible if you start your own business. Tell yourself that you are going to do that. Make a mental decision. That's all you need to do. And you're in business as a sole proprietor. And we'll tell you how to make your entire trip tax deductible. Sherry, you are on the air with Dr. Norman Shealy. Welcome.
Yeah, I wanted to throw my comment in on the sleep deal with the children, but really with everybody. Mm-hmm. Joyce Riley had Dave Stetzer on. She's had him on a couple of times, and one of the shows he actually came out to her house and actually installed the Stetzer filters, and she had a problem with waking up at night, not sleeping soundly, and he had the ability to hook a computer in to see if she was getting surges through her line, and what she was supposed to do was to, if she woke up, write what time it was when she woke up, and it did have correlation to when there were surges through the line, and he said that could be from a big industry starting up, like, say, even the power plant, if they gear up at like 3:30 in the morning to make more power for when people start getting up and stuff. And this is really interesting, but there's a lady who's written a book, Electronic Silent Spring, and she's got a website that has some real interesting things on it. Particularly, she's got a part that talks about autism, and wireless, and wildlife and wireless. And it's really interesting that they're to the point where they recommend that beekeepers do not take a cell phone with them when they work their beehives, because you can set a cell phone down by the hive and it will disorient them.
Mm-hmm. Well, we have been talking about electromagnetic radiation, bees, cell phones, and how we believe that cell phone frequencies are disruptive to bees. We actually believe that too. Dr. Shealy, your thoughts?
Oh, absolutely. I don't have a dumb phone, as you know.
Mm-hmm.
I call them dumb phones because I think they dumb you down if you use them enough. But all kinds of electrical stuff in the wiring of your house can actually interfere with sleep and cause other problems. No question about it.
Sherry, one thing, I don't know if you know this, but when we built our house about roughly 10 years ago, started building it, I went to eBay and I bought some copper dust, and it's like the consistency of flour. I bought 5 pounds of it, and I mixed it with the primer that we applied to the sheetrock walls on the inside of the house. And I painted over the areas where the wiring was, because I put the wiring in with our son. So we wired the house, and we standardized the heights and so forth of how all the wiring was done in the house. And we painted with copper dust the walls, the primer, so that we would reflect the electromagnetic radiation back into the walls. We've never heard of anybody else doing that. So maybe that's something that others might want to try as well. But I can tell you this, that if you... Go ahead.
Is that cheaper than, say, you were to just use some kind of metal shielding like they do with exposed, instead of exposing Romex, they put shielding, run it through.
Yeah, what you're talking, and we did that too. We wrapped a lot of... we wrapped a lot of our wiring of Romex with metal shielding. Typically, it used to be done with something called BX cable, which is armor shielded cable. That was like in the 1950s and earlier. Well, that was great. But we shielded ours with metal, and then we painted the walls where the wires were, and we overlapped probably a foot on either side of each cable. Dr. Shealy, your thoughts on that?
Absolutely. The more you can, shield yourself from extra electromagnetic things, the best. I do wear a Q-link a good deal of the time because it does help protect the brain.
There you go. And so just look up copper powder, okay? Copper powder on eBay, and you can mix it with paint.
If the IRS has garnished your paycheck or seized money from your bank account, you need to get professional tax help now. Fast action is required to put a halt to these aggressive IRS collection tactics. You can count on the knowledgeable team of tax professionals at Wall & Associates. With over 30 years of experience, Wall & Associates has settled the tax problems of thousands of taxpayers for a small fraction of what they owed. For a free face-to-face consultation, call 1-800-425-4610 to put a wall between you and the IRS. 1-800-425-4610, or look for us on the web at wallandassociates.net. We solve tax problems. If you hire Wall & Associates today, you'll never have to talk to the IRS again. To stop the levies and seizures today, take action now. Call Wall & Associates at 1-800-425-4610. Wall & Associates, 1-800-425-4610. Based on actual cases, results may vary, not a solicitation for legal services.
Gold. It's like nothing else on Earth. From the Romans through the Renaissance, from the Industrial Age to the Space Age, gold has weathered the test of time. For 6,000 years, gold has remained the ultimate store of wealth. According to the World Gold Council and the U.S. Mint, demand is at an all-time high. The stage is being set for the reemergence of gold as the common-sense alternative to a fiat paper currency that gets weaker every day. Midas Resources is proud to offer the hard-hitting report that arms you with the truth you need to protect you and your family from the Fed's plans for your hard-earned money. Don't gamble with your future. Call Midas Resources today and ask for your free copy of As Good as Gold. Call 1-800-686-2233. 2237 for the report the Fed hopes you'll never see. As good as gold can be yours by calling 800-686-2237. If you have ever thought about owning gold, you must read this report. Call Midas today at 800-686-2237.